Well, hey, good morning and welcome to today's Saturday Snapshot. It's hard to believe. We are now 1 week from Easter. And as I was thinking about that, I came across this humorous story by Pastor Craig Groeschel. Greg Groeschel leads probably the largest church in North America. His church, Life Church, is actually the ones responsible for the YouVersion Bible app. And so I'm reading this book called Power of Change, and it's about habit development. But he tells a story about he and his wife had moved into a home that had been built in the 1900s, like around 1910, and they had it was one of those kind of fixer-upper kinds of homes, and so they'd gone into the den area and had plugged in their lamp, plugged in their TV, and plugged in a fan. And when they went to turn those things on, none of those appliances worked, and they couldn't figure out, what was happening. Whether it was, they had a bad bulb or something along those lines, and so they concluded that the den area must not have uh, electricity. So they ran extension cords from other outlets into the home, and then they just kind of snaked it through the house. They covered it up with rugs, throw rugs, and things like that. And they lived that way for 3 years. At the end of the 3 years, they were getting ready to move, and Craig noticed this little light switch, something like that on the wall, as they were preparing to move. And he began to flick that switch, and wondered what was going on. And so he unplugged one of the lamps from the extension cord and plugged it back into an outlet. Went back over and hit that switch, and sure enough, the lights came on. See, it turns out for over 3 years, power had actually been running into that den. He just hadn't connected the right switch. Now, why do I share that with you? Well, there's a period now that we live in. It's called after Easter, but it leads up to Pentecost. Pentecost is that time in which the Holy Spirit pours out the power that gives birth to the church. And for us Christians, it really is that time for us to make sure that we're turning on the right switch, that we're remaining connected to God. We may ask ourselves, why am I not seeing the fruitfulness of my life? Why aren't we having the impact, the influence we have? My hope for us is to make sure that we're turning on the right switch. And so what Jesus does from Easter until the resurrection is he prepares his disciples for that moment, for the outpouring of the Spirit, so that our lives are transformed in such a way. And for those disciples, it was transformed in such a way that Peter, who had said before the crucifixion, "Lord, I will never forsake you. I'll never leave you." And then we know what happens. But after that experience, for the next 40 days, Jesus is reinforced for Peter. He's poured back into Peter. He's preparing Peter for that moment in which the Holy Spirit comes, so that Peter can stand up with conviction and boldness in saying, "No, this is the resurrected one that we're talking about." And so I will begin a new sermon series leading up to Pentecost called Preparation for Pentecost. And I hope you'll make plans to be with us either in person or online. Tomorrow we're going to talk about what does an empowered godly life look like? How does it even start? And then we'll progress from there each week. Hey, we've got some really cool things that are coming up this week. On Wednesday, we're going to bring back our Wednesday night dinner. We're going to start out with once a month. This is going to be sponsored by our missions team. Our missions team is really revamping itself. It's resetting itself. Its designed, its purpose is to create opportunities for you and to me to go out both in our local community as well as in our global community to be the hands and feet of Jesus. That oftentimes we earn the permission to speak into people's lives about God's kindness, God's love, God's presence by the work that we do. For us who already have Jesus in our heart, we call that's our sanctification work. That's the work that we do that sets us apart from the rest of the world. when people ask us, why do you do the things that you do? Our response is because we love Jesus, right? And why do we love Jesus? Because Jesus wants us to have the best in life. And so we go and we offer the best of Jesus by bringing, the best of Jesus into other people's lives. And we do that by addressing needs and hurts and pains in the world. And so this Wednesday, we want to invite you to come. It'll be a spaghetti dinner. There'll be another meal that will a substitute meal for kiddos. The cost is $10 a person, $25 a family. But you're going to hear a presentation about an upcoming trip to Panama. And that may be something that you're interested in. But more than that, it's a time for us to fellowship together. It's a time to gather around the table and have a specific conversation about what it means to be servants in the world and to go out. And speaking of serving, this Friday evening, we have our Enchanted Evening, a night in Paris. For our amigos friends, our special needs community. And if you have not already registered with Through the Roof Ministry and Pastor Phyllis, please do that. I know that they could use all the help. I know one of the big requests every year is for dance partners, for folks to come and put a little dance on. In fact, I think, if I remember correctly, Lynn is going to be teaching line dancing this Sunday evening. So if you're got two left feet and would like to have a little rhythm, come and be a part of the special needs ministry this Sunday. But then make sure that you come back and join us for the Enchanted Evening coming up this Friday. Hey, I think that's the announcements I want to make. Actually, I want to just remind you, it's really important for us to make sure that we are connecting with the families and the young folks that came to be with us this past Sunday. And the best way to do that is to make sure that you're either in a small group, you're joining one of our Sunday school classes. I'll be starting membership classes here in May. But more than that, reach out to Manu and ask him, hey, how can I help you with our children and youth ministry? I hope you're having a great Saturday, and I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Till then, be blessed and have a great day. Take care.